Navigating Disney World with special diets can be complicated, but it's a lot easier than it was in years past. And with these tips, you'll have no problem sticking to your low-carb or keto diet on your next Disney World trip. Well, I can't promise you'll have no problem, but at least it'll be easier. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Eating a ketogenic diet or low-carb diet means you've got to cut back on things like bread and sugar, which is not always an easy thing to do in Disney World when you're surrounded by delicious cupcakes and meals loaded with refined flours and sugars. Staying on your diet in Disney World can be tough, but we've got some tips to help you out. And for even more info on low-carb and keto diets, along with tips to help with planning your Disney World dining with vegan, gluten-free, kosher, or other dietary needs, head to disneyfoodblog.com/special-diet-cheat-sheet to get a free printable download of tips and advice for visiting Disney World with special dietary concerns. All you have to do is sign up for our totally free newsletter, and we will get that special diet cheat sheet right into your inbox. All right, tip number 1. Check menus ahead of time. Anybody who's even tried to do a diet before understands that meal planning is the best way to avoid getting hangry and eating too much of what you shouldn't be eating. So, as is the case, we always recommend that people check menus ahead of time when they're planning their dining in Disney World anyway, so you're going to do the same if you're trying to eat a keto diet or a low-carb diet. Do the research ahead of time. It's going to save you time and money and a lot of headaches. Some places are more suited to a keto or low-carb diet than others, so we're going to round up a list at the end of this video with all of our suggestions and recommendations. But check out menus in advance to see that there's something you can eat and something you want to eat before you make that reservation. Menus can be found on Disney World's website, or our friends at allears.net have a great resource of up-to-date menus with photos of lots of the food items to help you plan. Now, the more you plan ahead, the less likely you'll be to scrap your goals when you get hangry. So make a plan and be prepared. All right, number 2 tip, know where to find the best keto-friendly snacks. You're in Disney World for several days. You're going to want some snacks in addition to keto-friendly meals. Luckily, there are options all over, from quick grab-and-go items to more substantial snacks. So anybody who's done keto or low-carb for a while, you know what you're looking for. Whole foods. Things that don't have added refined sugars or flours. You know you're probably going to be looking in refrigerated sections, right? So look for pickles, hard-boiled eggs, Baby Bell cheese. Those are going to be at small kiosks or grab-and-go locations throughout the parks and resorts. For something a little more unique and substantial, seek out the Nuna turkey jerky at Ronto Roasters at Galaxy's Edge. There may be a little bit of sugar going on in there, though be prepared for that. Or the chicken skewers in Magic Kingdom, if those are back on the menu. You usually find those at Liberty Square Market or Westward Ho. If you're up for visiting a lounge to sit down for a quick snack, you'll find charcuterie boards at many locations around Disney World, and cheese boards as well. 2 of our favorite options are at Baseline Tap House in Hollywood Studios and Nomad Lounge in Animal Kingdom. Okay, tip number 3, order things without the bread, obviously, right? One of the easiest ways to make a dish keto-friendly is to ditch the bread or the bun or any of that stuff. You can modify some items in mobile order in the My Disney Experience app, or speak to a cast member or server about dropping the bun from your burger. Sometimes you can even request extra veggies or something similar if you're not getting a bun on your burger. One of our favorite options to make breadless is the Ronto wrap at Ronto Roasters in Galaxy's Edge. The breakfast wrap here is egg, cheese, and sausage, still delicious if you drop the non-bread from the equation, and the regular wrap is that same sausage with a slaw, roasted pork, and peppercorn sauce, also very good even without the wrap. And cast members are very, very used to making this breadless. They can do that in an instant. All you have to do is ask, no problem. All right, number 4 tip, ask for alternatives. At table service restaurants, you can often swap fries or other carb-heavy sides for veggies or a salad. And restaurants have allergy-friendly menus that may help you decide which items are safe for you to eat. You can always ask your server for a copy of that menu, which will list which diets each menu item is appropriate for. And of course, you're going to order dishes without the sides, especially all those French fries. Skip the side dish altogether, and you may actually save some money. If you're opting to not include sides with your quick service order, that will very likely reduce the price, freeing up your budget for more delicious cheese and charcuterie later in your trip. All right, number 6 tip, focus on breakfast. Eggs, omelets, breakfast meats, and veggies are very keto friendly, so filling up on breakfast can mean not having to mess with bunless burgers and a lack of keto friendly sides for lunch. So have a big breakfast at a table service restaurant maybe, and then you can fill up and head to a big steakhouse for dinner, and you should be good to go. You don't have to worry about counter service restaurants not having a lot of keto friendly options. All right, number 7 tip, ask about those ingredients in your sauces. Many sauces can have hidden sugar, and we know that, right? Everybody who does keto, but at every restaurant or kiosk, you can ask your server for ingredients. They should have a binder with ingredients at all kiosks and quick service locations, so you'll never be wondering what's in your food. Now, sometimes cast members don't know how to find those binders, if they don't know where they are, or the leader doesn't know where they are, and that can be a hassle. So just as a frame of reference, any sort of glazes or barbecue sauces, things like that, those are going to have a lot of sugar in them. A lot of times buffalo sauces are much closer to okay for keto because those aren't going to have quite as much sugar in them. Ranch, you're probably fine. So do a little research ahead of time to figure out which sauces are going to be safe for you and which ones you're going to have to avoid or go real light on. Number 8 tip, add the fat when you can. Anybody who knows keto knows that having a significant amount of fat in your diet is a big part of how that diet works. So ask for extra butter on your steak or seafood, or get cream in your coffee instead of milk. And if you're staying keto faithfully on your trip, you'll need the extra fat to feel satiated, so don't skimp on it. And be sure you get that where you can. You can also buy MCT oil supplements if that's something that works well with your macros. All right, tip number 9, be careful with alcohol. Sugary drinks like margaritas and sweet and sour douse seasonal cocktails are the norm in Disney World. They're everywhere. So stick to pure alcohols with non-sugar mixers if you are going to drink. These are vodka, gin, tequila, rum, you can do all of those. Stick to maybe a vodka or gin and soda with a lime twist or a rum and Diet Coke, or go for a nice highbrow tequila shot at La Cava del Tequila. There are ways to indulge without bringing in quite so many calories. You can also do a glass of red or white wine or champagne. Go for the drier options versus the sweet. Of course, they're going to have less sugar, and you probably won't do too much damage. Now, beers are going to wreak havoc on your keto progress, but if you stick with a low-cal light beer, you should be okay to drink one on occasion. Now, of course, a lot of experts will say don't even drink alcohol while you're doing a keto or low carb diet. So that's your choice. That's up to you. If you're on vacation and you want to imbibe, but you want to sort of avoid the calories, stick to these options. All right, and speaking of drinking, number 10, stay hydrated. Everyone who's keto knows the power of drinking that water. If you're visiting Disney in the near future, that means wearing a mask all day long, which can make it harder to stay hydrated. So set drink water alarms or carry a water bottle with measurement lines to help track your hydration habits. Get water delivered to your hotel room too. Not everyone's a fan of Florida water, so plan accordingly. You can fill up at bottle fill stations or water fountains in the parks, or ask for a cup of free water at quick service locations. However you get your water, just stay on top of how often you're doing that. And remember, the policies in Disney World right now means that in order to even take a sip of water, you need to be socially distanced and standing stationary to lower your mask. All right, number 11 tip, it's okay to lax your diet a little bit. So remember, one day or 1 week off the wagon won't affect you that much unless you can't get back on the wagon when you get home. It's true, physically 1 day or 1 week won't affect your body too drastically, but it can affect your mind. Plan ahead for when you get home. Be sure there are plenty of keto-friendly options already stocked so that you can jump right back on your plan. If you plan to splurge a few times on vacation, keep your last couple of days clean so that you won't have to face the PDD, which is post-Disney depression, of course, and going back to your keto routine at the same time when you get home. Now, here are our top picks for restaurants and low-carb keto options. I've been loving Wine Bar George and Disney Springs. It doesn't sound like it'd be a great place for keto, but it is actually. I love the charcuterie there. You've got that Saganaki on fire, which is that amazing melted cheese. It's so good, and I just eat it with a fork and a knife. I don't even use the little breads that they give you to eat it. And they have a great steak there as well, so there's lots of ways to stay keto. They also have a good pork dish there right now that I really enjoy. So there's lots of great ways to stay keto at Wine Bar George. And of course, wine is going to be one of your lower cal alcohol options too, so one glass probably shouldn't take you too far off your mark. Next, of course, those steakhouses. You've got several options for steak-heavy menus. Shula's Steakhouse at the Dolphin, Yachtsman Steakhouse at the Yacht Club, STK in Disney Springs really surprised me. A couple weeks ago when I went, I was shocked at the quality there. I don't like the atmosphere at STK, but I loved my steak. Le Cellier and Epcot, really good always. Just pay attention to those sides and the sauces. Stick with the veggies, stick with butter, and try to keep yourself from ordering the mac and cheese and the potatoes. All right, seafood is another good option for keto diet. So Paddlefish in Disney Springs, Narcoossee's at Grand Floridian, Todd English's Blue Zoo at the Dolphin, Coral Reef and Epcot, all great seafood restaurants. Coral Reef is going to be a good kid-friendly choice as well because you get to be in that giant aquarium and your kids are going to love it. And of course, Ohana at the Polynesian Village Resort. Now, it's not open at the moment, but when it does reopen, that's basically a churrascaria. They bring a bunch of meats to your table. They have chicken wings. You're just going to have to ask about the sauce ingredients. Those may contain sugar, so you may need to have the sauces on the side or not use the sauces. Now, for some quick bites, we recommend Captain Cook's at the Polynesian, Flame Tree Barbecue in Animal Kingdom, Satuli Canteen, also in Animal Kingdom, great place for keto, Blaze Pizza and Polite Pig in Disney Springs. Blaze Pizza actually has a cauliflower-based pizza. That's going to be still some carbs, but not quite as many as if you had a regular pizza. Pecos Bill in Magic Kingdom. You can do real well there with fajitas, just don't eat the tortillas. And Sunshine Seasons in Epcot's going to have a lot of options for you as well. So the trick to eating keto or low carb in Walt Disney World is to advocate for yourself and plan ahead. Don't be afraid to ask for substitutions or alternatives, and definitely ask for ingredient lists if you want to stick to your diet very closely. Again, if you want to have some of this info on hand or if you have other special diet needs, head to disneyfoodblog.com/special diet cheat sheet to get a free printable download of tips and advice for visiting Disney World with special dietary concerns. Thank you guys for visiting and thanks for watching. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving day today. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog and we'll see you real soon.